Welcome to the Rocket Rewind, the show where we get together and talk about things that matter, things that are interesting, and shit that might just blow your mind. Yeah, they're our opinions, and you don't have to like them. We might not like yours either, but feel free to share them in the live chat. This is America, where we have free speech, cancel culture, Karens and Darrens, all working together in such super sweet harmony. Yeah, right. Sometimes the things we talk about might help restore our faith in humanity, but all too often it's going to be stuff that might piss you off like it does us. Make sure you have your grown-up panties on and come join the conversation. Oh yeah, and make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss this weekly dose of provocative discussion. The Rocket Rewind, Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. Viewer discretion is advised.
Boom. What is up, y'all?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Happy Sunday. Man, Christmas is right around the corner.
Man, this year has gone by way too fast.
Yes, it has. It definitely
about
has.
that many Christmas presents right now. Zero.
Oh, you've planned well ahead, I can tell.
I got myself something.
Well, let me tell you this, right? I had some things picked out for my mom. She lives in North Louisiana. I had some things picked out for my mom that I was going to order on Amazon, and I went to order those yesterday, and the earliest shipping any of that stuff was going to get there was December the 28th. I have Amazon Prime. Remember when Amazon Prime used to be free 2-day shipping?
2 day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that shit? Yeah, no. Yeah. It's not now it's just free shipping. They don't even try to bullshit you on the time frame.
I kind of found out why that changed. I go to this restaurant every single day throughout the week for lunch. I usually get the same thing. And the woman that's up at the counter, she used to work at Amazon and she ended up leaving. Apparently, she wasn't happy with the way things were going there, as well as a lot of other people, and they had massive walkouts at Amazon all over the country. Yeah. So now they've stopped that 2-day thing, and it's you get it when you get it.
Yeah, no shit, yeah. And it really is you get it when you get it, and you got to watch real close. If you order some things, you got to really look at it because some of that stuff comes from overseas, and it's got to come through customs and all that, and it may be 30, 45 days before you get it, and then it's like it comes in, and you're like, did I order something? Because it's been so long. Yep. Well, let me run through the chat real quick. I got sidetracked on that there, but let's see. Stu Dorman was here. What's up, Stu? Good to see you. Chris Talbert, moderator to the stars, of course. We got Storm Gaming official. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. Michael Tingley is here. What's up? Good to see you. We got Brooklyn with Worldwide Emergency Videos. Keysign all the way from Hawaii. What's going on, man? What's that weather like over there right now? Inquiring minds want to know. And of course we got Steve the Bodyman who's here with us. Y'all see him there.
Hey, everybody.
We've got let's see, Gaming with Eric Boyce is here. What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Steve, you remind Brooklyn of a police officer in his town. Have you got a doppelganger around there in the UK somewhere?
Apparently I got a few of them running around this country as well. I mean, I've been told that I kind of look like that guy from what's called something about Charlie or something. I don't know. Was it some television show? I don't know.
I think I hear my grandson out there somewhere. He may come running in here any minute. But anyway, let's see if we can look at a couple of videos, and then I want to kind of dive in a little bit today on the Alabama open records law. and or the Alabama Open Records Act, as they call it, and then the a couple of court cases and stuff dealing with disorderly conduct and obscene language in public in Alabama, because it's kind of, I don't know, that law sounds very unconstitutional. So I kind of want to look at a couple of court cases with it. Oh wow, it's been raining in Hawaii. It's been raining in Hawaii. Storm said you look young, Steve.
Yeah, it's a curse.
Yeah, he's like 85. Yeah, he's 85. You wouldn't ever know. Oh shit! No, I'm probably older than Steve.
You are.
Let's see. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Let's just say I'm in my 40s and closer to my 50s than 40.
You gave too much away.
Yeah, I'm in that time. That's a 10-year gap. You know, that's a 10-year gap. Well, 5-year gap, I guess. All right. So I don't know how many of you out there in YouTube land watch Fridays with Frank. Let me see if I can pull this up. So this is oh no, I'm cutting off the text there. So this is the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, which is what state is that? I can never remember. Is that Arizona? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's Arizona. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to close my door. I got to close my door. I can hear too much noise.
Okay. At least I think it is.
Sorry about that. Yeah. My grandson's running around hollering and stuff. Krista R.A., what's up? Good to see you. So here we go. What they do, the sheriff's department over there puts out these videos. They have a cameraman that rides along with Deputy Frank here, and it's kind of like think cops and live PD, right? But there's a whole lot more talking and stuff as we go along. I've watched a few of these. This one here, fairly disturbing. Actually, Adam had shared this one for us to look at. So let's hop into it. Let's see what we think about it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. I may stop it midway if I get too pissed off. What's going on, Taylor? How you doing? Chris Talbert, good to see you.
71, passing all these cars. Get a good look. That guy right there. See your driver's license, please.
Yes, sir. Can I ask what you're for?
Absolutely. As soon as I see your driver's license, I will be very happy to tell you.
That's not how it works. Can you know, first of all, what's your name and your badge number?
I'm sorry. I do this for a living. You don't. I tell you how this works. Let me see your driver's license, or I'm going to pull you out of your car and arrest you for.
So he got pissed from the get-go, right? It really wouldn't have taken, if somebody asked an officer when they walk up, if somebody asked an officer, hey, what'd you pull me over for? The dude was very polite. May I ask what you pulled me over for? He wasn't like, say, motherfucker, what'd you stop me for? You know, he was polite. He was like, may I ask what you pulled me over for? He could have easily just said, I stopped you for speeding, sir. Could I please get your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance?
He could have. However, this guy knows.
He still did a good job of because the guy's follow-up thing was, that's not how this goes.
Right.
So this guy knows he was speeding. Yeah. He knows he was speeding. Why even ask the question? Be like, yeah, you got me. I'm guilty. I'm just going around a car. Here's my stuff. I'm not going to argue. I mean, it could have been very, very simple.
Well, but Deputy Frank gets a little pissed off at this guy. And the guy's pushing his buttons, some of which I think is on purpose too. But let's keep going.
Failing to provide ID. This is a legal request. I don't want to hear any other words out of your mouth except here's my driver's license. Please.
Can you say it again?
Absolutely. I need your driver's license so I know who you are. I am not asking you. I am telling you. Give me your driver's license.
My name is...
I don't want your name. I want a physical ID as required by Arizona law.
I am asking you when I'm getting pulled over.
I will tell you as soon as I see your driver's license.
I'm glad to give you my license. I get some identification of the reason why I'm getting pulled over. That's usually
All right. Well, I'm Deputy Slope. I work for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. The reason I stopped you is you're traveling 71 miles an hour in a posted 45-mile-per-hour zone. You also see registration and current proof insurance, please.
All right. Now, here's here we go. 71 in a 45. Don't be an asshole to the cop when you get pulled over.
No, like I said, this
You
guy
almost
knows
said
he
that.
was speeding.
Yeah.
Like, why even try to argue? Like, you're not going to win this one. Sorry.
Well, and
Yeah.
if you see some of his, and in his other videos, he's a pretty chill guy. Like, he's monotone. He doesn't raise his voice.
Yeah,
He's pretty chill for the
I've
most
seen
part.
a good bit of his videos, and this one here, it seems somewhat out of character.
Yeah.
For
That-
him, like
whatever
somehow this dude triggered him,
Yeah.
or maybe it was just a shitty day. I mean, maybe he just had a bad day. I don't really know. But you know, I've often wondered that, Michael, if any of these were staged videos. I mean, they're supposed to be like legit. They have a cameraman riding with them and shit, but they are edited, of course. You know, when they're put up, they've been edited. So I mean, I'm sure they cut out some of the bloopers and bullshit. But so he tells the guy he needs his driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, right? So now here's where you can tell Frank's had enough of this shit. Because he's just from here on, he's pretty much just pissed with this guy.
Current proof insurance, please.
Can I do some doorbell?
Unless it's going to magically appear in your hands, you would have to, right? All of your information still current, still living on Mesa?
I don't answer any questions.
Okay.
And I had to get on my phone.
You're the one who decided it needed to be recording, so you could also use it to provide current proof insurance.
Oh, man.
Hey, Megan, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. So, apparently now he's all of a sudden pissed that the guy's got a camera on him when he's got a cameraman riding with him. So, I mean, that's, I mean, I get it.
I don't think he was just digging at the camera. I think it's the whole situation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like this guy is everything this driver does is going to irritate Deputy Frank even more.
He's going to have a rebuttal to it.
I'm not sure if Deputy Frank has any kind of rank or anything. I don't know if I'm miscalling him. If he's a sergeant or something, I apologize for not using his rank. But I think it's. I mean, they call him Deputy Frank, so I'm assuming he's not a sergeant yet. But anyway, let's keep going because this gets even better.
Who wants me to update?
We're required to provide it in a amount of time that would be
Right, it's coming up right now.
okay.
It's giving me 15 seconds.
So while I'm sitting here and I am a public servant, is there any other questions I can answer for you? Reference our contact. Okay, just want to make sure.
That look on his face, and the background music is just perfect, right? Because he's like, he's over this shit, man.
So I found this video from a guy that does. He talks about sovereign citizens a lot, and this was apparently a sovereign citizen.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's dig into some of that. Then we can talk about some of those because it's sovereign citizens is probably one of the most fucking confusing things ever. We may need to do a show just on that.
We should, because I'm a little unclear what it is. I mean, does that mean they give the cops the most amount of grief?
They believe that they're not subject to the laws. They have like their own. They're like their own country kind of thing or something.
Well,
if you're here, you follow the law.
Well, they've tried to do it like colonial time law, like the laws that were in place during the colonial settlements and all that stuff. And then like maritime law comes into play in some of it. And so does like civil federal law. Like it's a whole bunch of mixed up shit that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's real confusing. It's really confusing. The bad guy 34 says, hello, everybody. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
What's up, bad guy?
Colonel Indiana Longnuts, what's up? That is a hilarious name. All right, let's get back into this. Deputy Frank's about to lose his shit.
All right, well, you keep working on that. There's no reason to be confrontational like that. There was no part of my contact with him was confrontational. Super simple and cordial, and he just, for some reason, just can't seem to understand that there's a sequence of events that transpires here in Pinal County. And if he doesn't like that, maybe he needs to move back to Mesa. As soon as he recorded me, and I asked him, hey, I need your driver's license. He's like, I'd be happy to give it to you. But before that, when he wasn't recording me, he absolutely wouldn't. So it's that's why you can't believe everything that you see online, is because there was that whole entire contact that happened, and then he starts to record, and all of a sudden he's just the nicest guy, and I'm this big mean guy that's just demanding stuff. I would imagine he will interpret the fact that he's getting a ticket as a result of his terrible attitude, when really it's just the fact that he is just violating Arizona motor vehicle law. So in case you're wondering what 71 miles an hour at 1,065 feet looks like on a laser, that's what it is. And that was his speed. So after I locked him in on this, I watched him drive past me, never lost sight of him, pulled in right behind him. So I'm sure this is the type of guy that wants to find some sort of, I don't know, something to fight in this. All right, kind sir. Have a contact phone number for you with an area code first, please.
All right.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Well, all the
Supervisor?
No. No, you can contact one by phone.
But if I'm requesting a supervisor, you denying?
I can give you the contact phone number for the sheriff's office. Absolutely. It's area code 520-866-5912.
Idiot, man.
Yep.
Do you normally, just a couple questions for you. Do you normally threaten to put people out of the car just for them asking why they got pulled over?
100% when they refuse to provide identification like you did.
But isn't that a secondary offense? Arizona's not a stop and ID state. Like I asked you why I was being pulled over.
That's correct.
Until I use it as a predecessor.
That's correct, because I need to know who I'm talking to first.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Per civil rights and laws,
Okay.
and unless I am being arrested, or unless I'm being
Failing to
Hold on a
provide
second.
evidence of identity is a criminal
No,
offense.
it's a secondary offense.
Doesn't matter.
It is.
It's an
It does
offense.
that. It doesn't. Officer Stroop, if you will let me speak, and then I'll let you speak. Is that all right?
No.
You don't want to let me speak.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not here for a back and forth.
Well,
This
why not?
isn't I talk and you talk. It is, absolutely it is.
Normally, per the civil rights,
This has nothing to do with civil
Per
rights.
the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, which you hold an oath to uphold, I know it's very, very disappointing because I like to follow the rules too. Obviously, I got However,
Well, you like to follow rules except for speed limits.
I-
That you don't like to follow.
that's the curse. Okay, so if
So if we want to play word games, we can play word games here.
we can play word games as long as you want.
Absolutely.
Just per the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, I'm secure in my own rights to hold my identity, unless, especially in a state that's not a stop and ID state.
Well, here's where this guy's wrong with the stop and ID part, right? Yeah, there's a lot of states that say you don't have to produce an ID unless you're, suspected of a crime or you're being arrested or, whatever. However, in the motor vehicle laws of every state, as far as I know, when you're stopped for a traffic offense, that's part of the implied consent law and everything. When you get that driver's license, that's all part of that big old umbrella of if you get stopped by a police officer in a vehicle, you provide that driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I get where the guy's trying to go with his argument,
It's just not going to go
but
nowhere.
it's not going to fly because I mean it's clearly established law that a traffic stop you have to provide those documents.
Yeah.
His argument there,
And
of course,
not even just a driver, a passenger does as well in a vehicle.
in some states,
Most states.
yeah, in some states, because there's some argument there online where there's so the passenger is not the subject of the traffic stop. He's just merely present and the argument you see most of the time there is that since the traffic offense involves the driver's the one that has to provide identification and things. The passenger would only have to provide identification if they're suspected of a crime.
Right.
Now, of course, there's exceptions to that as well. If the vehicle meets a, description of something that happened somewhere, everybody's going to get pulled out and ID'd. And almost every state allows officers to pull any individual in that car out for officer safety.
Yeah.
So, it's there's a whole, it gets confusing as hell.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's been to the Supreme Court, but they upheld it. They upheld the
They
rule.
may have.
They kicked it back down to the lower court, and the lower court had ruled that it was a justified stop.
Yeah. And see, of course, each case, each instance is going to be slightly different. A lot of times the way appellate courts look at things is there an existing case similar to this that we can refer to or not? They're not. A lot of times they don't make new law necessarily if they can help it. They try to refer back to something else. All right, let's see how Deputy Frank handles the rest of this.
Aren't you supposed to tell me why you're pulling me over?
Absolutely. There is absolutely no requirement for me to tell you. I told you as a common courtesy because it's what I normally do during traffic stops.
I know, but it's what you normally do. That's not what the law says you do.
It is not a law.
It is. It's not a stop and ID.
It's not a law.
Okay. We have a difference.
We can agree that you are certainly going to get one. So, all the information is yours. Vehicle's information's here. It says today at 10:05, you're 71 and a posted 45. Now, RMP stands for reasonable and prudent, and that's what the speed limit is. And you're 71 miles an hour and a posted 45. Got you on laser, the most accurate of all speed detection devices. I'm sorry?
Do you have a printout or a screenshot?
No. I have a screenshot, yes.
Can I have that?
You cannot.
Okay.
Because I have no way to print it out in my car.
It's written on your ticket.
So, the direction you're facing right now is eastbound in the number 1 lane.
Yeah, it is.
State Route 24 at Meridian was the closest intersection. Your citation is for speed greater than reasonable and prudent. You're cited into the Santan Justice Court, which is located up in Chandler. You have a court date only if you wish to appear on the first day of November at 9 o'clock in the morning. If not, your phone number right here leads you to the court. Knowledgeable court staff there will be able to answer any questions you have, including giving you any sort of information on traffic school. This right here is the driver's license, the registration to which you provided, and an exact carbon copy of the citation. All right. Any further questions I can answer for you today, sir? All right. And just so you know, my sergeant is Sergeant Erickson. He's the person that you're going to... Thanks for putting your window up. I really hope that this goes to court. I hope with every fiber of my being that I get to go and see him again. Because there's not a judge anywhere in the state of Arizona that would entertain that tomfoolery that just happened.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get to see him again, and then we'll have another cordial conversation. So.
This guy is pretty freaking awesome. I got to tell you, I mean, what better way to slap somebody in the face than to slap them with a ticket like that, and then you got the upper hand at that point.
Well, and
you hand him his ticket and then tell him who your sergeant is if he's got a complaint.
That's right. Hey, John Daynard, what's up, brother? Good to see you. So the cool thing about Deputy Frank here is that even though you could tell he was agitated with this whole situation, he never really lost his cool. He never got loud. He didn't escalate to the point of, well, get out of the car then. If you don't want to give me a driver's license, he could have went a lot of different directions with this, but he stayed very professional, very cordial. And I have to say, while some of it was slightly condescending in his tone or whatever, he actually was pretty fucking polite.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's the
I
perfect
mean,
way to. It's the perfect way to handle somebody like that.
Now,
yeah.
I've never heard of this guy before, and I absolutely love it. So,
They
I'm
actually
gonna,
have their own. They
I'm
have
gonna
their own
subscribe
YouTube
to him.
channel.
Yeah, well, it's so here it is. It's the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. I'll just post a link to the actual video in the chat there.
Okay.
That'll get you to the actual video and the because I'm actually not subscribed to it on this channel.
I just subscribed to him. You know, he's awesome. I like him.
Yeah.
Hey, and
He
for
has some good
those
videos too.
yeah, for those of you watching, by the way, when you subscribe to a channel now, make sure you see how it is here. You subscribe to it,
Yeah.
and you got to look at how these notifications are, right? Like, I'm only going to get some notifications when I just click subscribe. If I want to make sure I get all notifications, you got to come up here and choose this part right here. So y'all make sure you do that on my channel too. Now, don't be forget. Don't be forgetting. Share the love. Share the love. Hey, there's Ember Rose. What's up, ma'am? Good to see you. How you doing? So that was Fridays with Frank. So now you said, Adam, that this guy was supposedly a sovereign citizen.
Yeah. Supposedly, like, there's a guy that did a whole video about it, and I think he had that guy that was in the car apparently was on one of those sovereign citizen forums or something like that. Well, that guy for his YouTube videos follows all those forums, and that's how he found out about it. And
gotcha.
Yeah, he had a little. It was good stuff though, because it was like the perfect response to how you deal with a sovereign citizen, and that was about as good as it's going to get with a sovereign citizen.
I don't think he could have really done any better than that.
Because usually windows come out and somebody gets pulled out of a car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Master Gamer, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you. And Deontay Williams, what's up? Welcome, y'all. Good to see you. So I don't want to keep y'all waiting too terribly long. I promised in the title that we would be looking at these poor these poor. One of them I would consider elderly because she's in her 80s, but she's not like decrepit elderly or anything. Like this lady's like my grandma. She seems like she gets around pretty damn good. But Taylor, that's okay, Taylor. I didn't realize that was you. You changed your name more than I change underwear there, brother. Well, he's changed his name to Master Gamers 2000. I don't know. You'd be confusing us.
You're confusing me, man.
Yeah, he's incognito. He's trying to sneak in here, but you gave it away, man. I thought I didn't notice the Z on the end. I really thought that was Anthony. You had me fooled for a second. All right, so there's a little town in Alabama called Wetumpka. I don't know, man. Every state's got some weird city names. Wetumpka to me just sounds like some kind of disease or something from back in the 1800s. People used to die of Wetumpka. Yeah, I've heard of Wetumpka before, but I've never been there. It's like 3.5 hours from here.
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw this video and I thought, man, fuck, I kind of want to go down there and film the cops a little bit. But that's too far to drive. You drive 3.5 hours down there, get hemmed up with some bullshit, and then it's 3.5 hour drive back. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. I have to. No, I ain't gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do that. But anyhow, so these women were. Well, let's pull it up here. I can. So these women were feeding cats. Now this is body cam footage. We're looking at the body cam footage that was uploaded by AL.com, but it's been kind of circulated in a bunch of places. There seems to be the cleanest, without a whole lot of talking over it and all that bullshit. So that's why I picked theirs. We got Blade Studios here. What's Blade doing? Good to see you there, Tata. All right. So anyway, they're feeding cats and trying to trap them. Now here's the officers pulling up.
10-4-10-28 returns to Mary Alston of Wetumpka on a 2005 Hyundai.
Good morning.
G350, green in color. Status is current. 29s are negative.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. All right. What are you doing?
Trying to trap some cats.
Okay. All right. We got a call that somebody was out here feeding the cats and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to trap them.
okay. You have your driver's license with you, man?
Hey, Christopher Green and Braden Warford, what's up? Good to see y'all.
Where do you take them once you trap them?
Okay, wait a minute. I got 3. Y'all have 3 cop cars because I'm feeding cats.
No, we always do this. It's
That's
fine.
unbelievable.
It's Wetumpka.
Yeah, it's Wetumpka. There ain't a whole lot going
3
on,
cop
right?
cars. They ain't got nothing else going on.
Oh man. So I gotta say, when the first time I saw this video and this woman's like, y'all got 3 cop cars because I'm feeding cats. First thing I thought of is that Carol Baskin? I thought that was Carol Baskin for a second there. But just to fill y'all in, those of you that are just getting this is body camera footage from AL.com that was provided from the Wetumpka Police Department. And these women are feeding and trying to trap wild cats in some kind of like park area, it looks like, of the town. And apparently they've been told to stop doing that. They don't want anybody feeding the cats. But here's the key thing to remember. These ladies aren't out here just putting food out and leaving. These ladies are out here putting food out with traps, trying to catch these cats, and they'll explain it themselves here a little bit better too. But this pissed me off. There's no, for one thing, as far as I can find with Wetumpka ordinances, I can't find anything that says it's illegal to feed cats. There's no law. I don't know what they're enforcing here, but they're enforcing trespassing is what they're enforcing. Supposedly they told these ladies they couldn't be there, and so they're getting charged with trespassing. They're not getting charged with feeding cats. They're getting charged with trespassing. The cops.
And that doesn't make any sense because it's not like they're on private property or anything. I mean, it's on the side of a road.
I could see their point if the town has a problem with wild cats and people just going out there and feeding them. But these ladies aren't just feeding them. These ladies are trying to trap these cats with food, of course, but they have traps. They're trying to trap these cats. They take them and get them spayed and neutered or whatever it's called. And then they're trying to home them. They're trying to find them homes. So they're helping, because apparently the fucking whatever animal control they have in Wetumpka can't catch cats. I don't know. So we got to leave it to the citizens to go down there and handle it. But this lady's like 3 fucking cop cars.
Is she crying? Good Lord.
They pulled up like a fucking felony stop, man.
I would be mad as hell if I was a citizen in Wetumpka and saw 3 people while I'm paying with my tax dollars doing that shit.
Dude, there has been so much outcry online. Like, I mean, there was people just talking shit on Twitter and on Facebook. Matter of fact, I may pull up let me see if there's, while this is playing, I'm going to see, I think there may be a Facebook response from the police. Let me see if I can find that.
Wow. Yes, sir. All right, so that is. Why don't you go tell her this back on? Don't come back. Okay.
You're formally trespassed from this area right here. So if you come back and we catch you out here, you go to jail for criminal trespass third. No.
All right, so pay real close attention to the time right here because I didn't do that the first time I watched this. And yeah, it's so I think that says 8:58.
Yeah.
And this was back in June, right? And this is all just coming out. Yeah, so it's 8:58. So we figure 9 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, ma'am.
Because right now she's just being trespassed. She's going to be arrested here in a little bit.
This is public property.
City
Public
property.
property, and there's no public,
Yes, ma'am.
which makes it public property.
Yeah, and the city does not want anybody feeding the animals around here because they're becoming a nuisance.
I'm trying to help that nuisance by catching them. I mean,
Okay.
they should be thanking me. I've got a trap set right there trying to help catch them and get them out of here.
Okay.
We have an animal control officer that's certified for that.
I know that, and Terrence knows that I try to help him catch them.
Okay. We're telling you no. Okay, the trespass stands. Just don't be around here trapping them anymore, okay?
That really
you have to go.
annoys me. Oh my God.
Yeah, that bothers me.
All right.
Back not even an hour later.
So we're looking at basically like what, 20 minutes?
25 minutes looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 9:22 a.m. now.
On the same day.
Yeah, let me double check that before I talk shit. Yeah, same exact day. Same exact day. Basically 20 some odd minutes later.
What are we doing?
For 939. Could you 10-9 or 1028?
Delta Victor 57701.
Veteran tag.
Man, we
disabled
told you to
tag.
leave this area. Well,
Number 1028 returns to Beverly
She's standing in a
Robert.
row.
Teetering on going to jail.
Created Camry gray in color. Current 29 negative.
I'm teetering on going to jail for feeding cats.
well, for trespassing, we told you to leave and you haven't left. I could take you to jail now. I'm not trying to do that. Ma'am, do you have your driver's license with you?
Yeah.
Now, here's another problem. This woman that pulled up here, what crime do they suspect her of? She's not required to ID in the state of Alabama unless she's suspected of a crime or she's under arrest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they kind of knew these two.
Yeah.
And you'll see here in a minute, this woman is falsely arrested. Like she's definitely got a federal lawsuit if she goes for it.
I mean, we're trying to do a good
Thank you,
thing.
ma'am.
I don't understand. We're trying to help, but we're not. Yeah.
Negative 10-9. You want to handle her? I mean, she's still not leaving. If you want to take her to jail too, go for it. All right, Ms. Roberts. Okay. Apparently, they've had an issue with you out here before with the cats.
Not here.
Feeding the cats out here, right?
Well, I feed them. We've been trying to trap them and we get them neutered and then get them homes.
Okay.
So we're trying to give the city a favor.
Okay. Well, the city has asked you multiple times.
The city?
Yes, ma'am. Not to do this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And they have trespassed you. Okay. And now you're trespassing.
I'm sitting in my car. I'm not.
Well, you're on the property. You've got cat food. Okay. It's pretty. I mean, all in the back seat. It's pretty clear what your intent is. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So.
Holy shit, y'all. She's got cat food in her car. Called the fucking SWAT team. Jesus Christ.
Wow. This is unbelievable, man. An elderly lady. I mean, give me a break.
Now, my understanding is she was trespassed from somewhere in town, not in this park. So her coming arrest for trespassing in this spot is not valid. If that information is correct. Now, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but you know.
When you said that there's not a lot going on down there, I just checked the census for 2021 in Wetumpka, Alabama, and there are currently 7,358 people living in that area. So there ain't nothing going on there. So these cops are just bored.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's a speed trap too, right there. So
that's a speed trap right here.
I think
it's like a speed trap.
Yeah, I think Wetumpka has a speed trap area.
Yeah. Once you hit that city or something like that, it drops down to like 25 or some crazy low speed all the way through town.
So gangster granny with the dangerous cat food all in the car is about to get hooked up here.
Because you've been trespassed and you have returned yet again, we're going to have to take you to jail, okay?
Jesus Christ.
No.
No.
You can go too.
I'm just,
No.
so I'm not allowed to talk.
No, that doesn't involve you. You've been told at least 25 minutes ago that you're trespassing here.
I will call a lawyer. All right.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. You can call a lawyer as soon as you get to the jail, okay?
As soon as I
Go ahead
get
and
to
get in your
jail.
car.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and get in your car. Go ahead and get in your car.
Ma'am, go to your car.
Unbelievable.
I guess you wanted to.
No, I just wanted to say something.
Okay, get in your car.
Go ahead and get in your car.
Get in your car.
These guys are fucking assholes, man.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Roberts. I'm going to have to get you to step out, okay?
I think we were
I'd be
about to arrest her.
trespassing if I did.
Well, ma'am, you're already trespassing.
Shit. You all are unbelievable. This is what you're wasting city gas on.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Step up here for me. Okay.
Now, wait a minute.
I'm not going to listen to me. I'm not, listen. Hold on. Where are you going?
I'm going to give her my car keys so she can get my car to my
Here,
house.
give it to that officer right there. He'll
I
hand
do
them to her.
want to say one thing to you.
It's going to get ugly if you don't stop.
Really?
Can I please say
Now, I mean, why not let her walk over there and hand her damn car keys? It's gonna get ugly if you don't stop.
What a jerk off that guy
Adam,
is,
do you
man.
want to take a day trip down to Wetumpka and just film some shit? I might
Well,
need
you know
some,
what? Just wait for me.
I
I'll
might
come
need
down
some-
with you too.
I might need I mean, because
we can pile up in the OJ Bronco and ride down there.
yeah, that'll be a real good idea. Yeah, Adam's got a Bronco, looks like the fucking OJ Bronco. Steve.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we would just have to slow speed through town though. That'd be the only
I've
thing.
got to get the tag though that says acquitted.
Oh yeah,
Got to figure out acquitted on there.
You'd need
Either that or it has to say not OJ.
Well, say there's so many people that's got that one already.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, the acquitted one's a little less popular.
Okay. Okay.
Oh shit! All right, well, so Granny's about to get hooked up.
I can't believe
one
that.
thing?
Okay. Now you just got to know it.
Can I say one
Congratulations.
thing?
Get up.
This guy's awfully rough with this woman, man. That ain't right.
Yeah, he is, and
She's
look at her
bruising the shit out
skin,
of her.
right? So
She's gonna have bruises like crazy.
yeah, elderly folks' skin can rip and tear very easy, right?
Easy.
And look at this dick right here. You know, he's like,
Asshole.
yeah, we're getting these old ladies. Hot damn. You
Well,
know?
shit. Looks like they busted the crime spree. Would he
Yeah.
actually treat his own grandmother like that? I mean, come on.
And here's the crazy thing, and it happened in a bigger city, but some of the cities will also get the police officers to help with cats and animals digging through dumpsters and making messes and stuff in the
Yeah.
form of a 22.
Yeah, they'll just kill them.
So they'll shoot them and kill them.
Yep.
They give them subsonic 22 rounds of the 22 rifle, and they get to go have all the fun killing as many felines as they want to kill.
Yeah.
So I don't get this. This makes no sense to me.
Deontay says these cops are definitely sassholes.
Oh yeah,
That's being nice.
yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
being
it's
real nice.
the bad guy's got a good point here. This is all this is right here is a power trip.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, roll up there, tell these ladies, hey, look, you know, y'all been warned before. Get your stuff. You've got to head on out.
Well, see, I
And-
was kind of questioning the trespass period because they do have a point. It is on public property, but if it's municipal property, I guess the cops can trespass.
Well, yeah, I think it's inside the town limits, but that's still public property, and you normally are not supposed to get trespassed from public property unless you commit a crime. There's no ordinance I can find for feeding feral cats in Wetumpka. So there's no
It may
crime.
be I wonder if it's a trap, like trapping them, because I know, like in Huntsville, you can't trap squirrels.
Yeah,
But
I
you're
don't
not
know.
supposed to kill them. You're not supposed to shoot them either.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't really find much as far as Wetumpka because surprise, they're not extremely transparent with their ordinances
City
either.
ordinances.
The ordinances you're supposed to know about, you can't hardly find.
It's probably one of those where they make the shit up as they go and then throw a number in front of it just so it'll get through the court. Like, oh yeah, we'll pass that real quick.
Hey, Stacy, what's up? Good to see you. Stacy says, now that my internet isn't acting like its fucking parents are related. I'm here. All right, so let's finish watching this gangster granny get arrested for feeding cats.
Wow.
Now.
Help him.
I got hurt really bad. Can I get the car off?
No,
the
ma'am.
road?
You just threw those keys at an officer. You're not getting anything. Ma'am, stop. Come on now. You're an 84-year-old. You are way too old to be acting like this. Come on now.
Listen,
Acting like a child.
Listen, I want my purse. I want my purse, my identification. You can't take me without my purse. You understand? You cannot take me without my purse.
Go ahead and step in for me.
She's wrong about that.
What's that?
Man, go ahead and step in. Come on.
Wrong about
Close
that.
my-
I can take you without it.
Yeah, they don't have to get shit out for you.
Yeah.
Leave all that shit in your car.
Yeah. Everything they take, they're more responsible for. So a lot of times they're like, no, we ain't taking shit. What's up, Mr. Wizard? Good to see you.
They got to put it in evidence. Property. You got to
Yeah.
list all the property. I'd leave that shit in the car.
All right, get in the car,
Close my
gangster
car
granny.
door,
Ma'am,
please.
we're going to get all your stuff. Just step in for me.
Well, I can't without, I'm almost 85 years old.
Yes, ma'am. And I had every intention of putting those handcuffs in the
He
front
didn't lock
for you
those cuffs.
until you started acting like that.
He didn't
What
lock
an
my
asshole.
car. They're going
Say
to
what?
tighten up on her. He didn't double lock her handcuffs. They're going to
Yeah.
tighten up on her as soon as she said that. Matter of fact, he just squeezed them and they clicked.
Yeah.
Fucking prick. This is the kind of people you don't want in law enforcement.
Here we go. Listen to this.
Front for you until you started acting like that.
Oh. I'm sorry, I can't get in.
Okay, now step back out real quick.
All right.
This way. Come on. I'm gonna put you in the lower car so you can
I
get in.
can't believe these guys are treating these women like this.
I can't believe they're treating them like that over a damn cat feeding cats.
No, it's
Like,
what a joke.
honestly, if it was going to come to that, I would have gotten my car and left.
Yeah, I
would've-
mean,
I would have paid this I would have gave this no attention. I'd have left that shit
right.
10-8 back in service.
Oh yeah,
Got better
I'd have
things to
I'd
do.
have been like, we warned him
Mhm.
again and hit the road.
Yeah.
You know?
So, do you have any other information on this? Did somebody call this in, or these guys just
No.
happen to be driving by and they're like, "Let's give these women some shit"?
No, they just happen to be driving by, but they've had issues with them in the past, apparently, feeding cats in different parts of the town and they're trying to catch them, right? They keep saying you can't feed the cats in town, but these ladies aren't just feeding the cats. They're trying to catch these cats. They're taking them to a vet who is not doing the fixing of these cats for free, I'm sure. And then they're trying to find homes for them. So in the end, they're helping get rid of these cats in a humane way. They're helping to get them new homes and shit, So, I mean, it's like, it's just,
I just
don't
don't
know,
understand.
man. This is sad. So thanks to AO.com for uploading that. Now there is a part that got cut out though, of this. I saw on a different video, but there's actually a part where the officers are talking after the fact and they say something about, well, I'm glad nobody was out here with the camera recording us beat up on these old ladies. That's why I'm saying I think there needs to be some cameras down there. Just to go, just to go see what's what. But I have a feeling that'd be one of those they'd figure out how to hem you up on the disorderly conduct shit or something. So let's look at Wetumpka Police Department's Facebook page real quick, because from my understanding, I think that they posted something back when this happened, or back when this first started coming out about it. But look at this. Look, they've got things that are now hidden, right? And you know why you can't see it? Because look at some of the comments. Earning the disrespect for all LEOs. Officer said, I'm glad no one was recording watching police officers beat up on 2 old ladies needs to be fired. That person is a danger on the streets and he fears accountability and transparency. What a wonderful department full of proper heroes that abuse elderly women. Have any of you big, brave policemen tasered or pistol whipped any old ladies yet? If not, you better be sure and get out there and radio for backup. So there's a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of shit talking.
They just let you know the cops knew they were fucking wrong for what they did.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh shit, wrong thing. But yeah, so they didn't get. I mean, here's one even from the UK. It says, greetings from the UK. It's nice to see that you're dealing with elderly ladies and cats with the firm hand they deserve. You must be very proud of yourselves. I hope you put those cookie peddling Girl Scouts in their place next week. God bless you, every one of you. Oh, my gosh.
I hope something came of that where those guys were reprimanded, because that was absolutely uncalled for.
No, I think the police department backed him up and said that these ladies were trespassing and knew better than to do what they were doing. Michael Tinkley says in Florida it's illegal to trap cats. And there may be an ordinance in Wetumpka. I couldn't find one. But I mean, come on, for real, right? I mean, let's pick our battles, right? I can see if you're trapping cats and then you're doing something bad with them, like using them to train attack dogs or, some shit like that. But I can't see where this is helping the public good to arrest these ladies for this shit.
Well, and the timing in which they did it, like June of this year, out of all the other crap that's going on in law enforcement, you want to go rile everybody up over 2 old ladies feeding cats?
Well, and they've also, yeah, exactly. And they've also, I mean, look at this. They've also limited who can comment on their Facebook page now because they were getting so much hate over that.
Well, they should be.
So see, here it is. I can't even comment on this.
Wow.
You can't comment on any of this. They've got comments turned off. You can't comment on their Facebook page anymore. Let's go from one shitty thing to, let's show we can't even take criticism,
So they won't accept any comments. So now that's like stomping all over your First Amendment on top of it.
Oh,
it may be a state code, David. It may be a state title code.
Oh, you think?
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
look up 13A11-153.
13A-11.
153. I think it may be updated, but subsection 5, knowing, obtain, control by theft or deception that is unauthorized, possesses or uses records material to have equipment. It could be under that subsection, all the way back to 13A11-151.
Wait, hold on. It pulled up. It pulled up more of a case thing. All right, so it could be unlawful for any person to do the following: intentionally release, steal, destroy, demolish, obliterate, or otherwise cause loss of any animal or crop from an animal or crop facility without the consent of the owner. So that's got to come from a place. Like it would be a crime to steal a cat from somebody's farm, or livestock from somebody's farm, right? Let's see. All this seems to do with like owned animals.
That's what I was thinking.
These are not.
But if it's the crop is like a feeder. False pretense for the purpose of performing acts not authorized by that facility. So yeah, that means to be just facility stuff.
Yeah, I think it's only if you're stealing it from somebody. I mean, these are wild,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
I've never seen anything. And I had to go back, pull out my title code book. I was like, dang, is there animal stuff in that thing? There was. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see. I mean, all right, now if the officers knew that somebody was coming to trap cats and they was using those cats to train like fighting pit bulls and shit, right?
Mhm.
Shut that shit down, definitely, because it's that there's animal cruelty shit that plays into that, right?
Right.
But I just don't see locking up old ladies for trying to feed and trap cats and go get them fixed and find them homes. I can't see the criminal activity there.
Even if
And-
there was, I would have definitely used my discretion to walk my ass away from that.
Well,
You know,
I mean,
that's why you have that discretion is for stupid stuff like this whole video. That whole
I
video
mean,
was.
dude, this is 2022.
Yeah.
These guys even made comments later about, thank God there were no cameras around. And of course, that's because, you know, body camera footage don't have to be released according to the Alabama Supreme Court, which is bullshit.
And another way, I think Wetumpka is one of those places, though, because like if you want to know how well a city has a speed trap, you look at their vehicles, and I want to know how 7,800 citizens are buying all them damn nice vehicles. Because there was 2 brand new Tahoes.
So it looks a lot like Brookside, Alabama, don't it?
Now, did you ever see the movie Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd?
So,
You've never
all
seen
that body cameras.
So that's what this place reminds me of. I mean, you go into this town and you just don't come out.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be that. So Stacy's got a story here. Short story. Leaving Wetumpka Casino, got pulled over. Dude asked if I was drinking. I wasn't. Asked if I was speeding, and he said I wasn't. Then asked if I hit at the casino. Then he says, after I told him no, he let me go with a warning. So what was it going to be like? Well, if you hit big at the casino, give me $200 and I won't write you a ticket or hook you up. Steve's drinking WD-40 over there, it looks like.
I'm trying to lube up all my joints.
Yeah.
Getting old.
Oh man. So I'm super concerned that they would treat elderly ladies like this. That's kind of shit.
Thanks, Michael.
That's how you can tell Wetumpka though's got it going on at Speed Trap, because them nice new Tahoes at the top of that Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's how you know they got some shit happening down there.
So before we get into a bunch of reading court cases and looking at some of that stuff, I haven't watched this video yet because I just read the story, but I wanted to actually see the video for the first time while we were watching it. But let's see, let's share this tab. So this comes from WAFF's website, but it didn't happen here. This happened in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And it was an off-duty lieutenant with the Fredericksburg Police Department, was dressed like Mrs. Claus, I guess, coming from a Christmas party or whatever, and helped save somebody's life. So this is going to be the lieutenant here dressed as Mrs. Claus. And like I said, I haven't watched this video yet. We may actually get an ad first. I'm not sure. Might have. Yep, we did.
Musical of this century.
All right. Well, apparently there's a new movie coming out called The Book of Mormon. If y'all want to watch that.
I'm good on those.
Oh wait, no, it's going to be at the Von Braun Center.
Oh, the play.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it, but I can't figure out how to get the volume back on.
Right there.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's back her up a little bit.
Merry Christmas from the Fredericksburg Sheriff's Office and Fredericksburg Police Department.
Santa and Mrs. Claus have made their way to the Fredericksburg Police Department. They're teaming up with law enforcement agencies to spread holiday cheer by going to different neighborhoods in the area some nights to visit kids. Lieutenant Tabitha Merrill with the Sheriff's Department has been stepping into the role of Mrs. Claus. She got done with the holiday run Tuesday night and was driving a different route home when this happened.
And I said, Mom, let me call you back. I see someone on the side of the bridge leaning over and, something doesn't feel right.
Merrill pulled over on the bridge and turned her lights on.
At that moment, she had not only her upper body over the railing, but she had also lifted her left leg and was had that leg dangling over as well. So at that moment, I knew it was an emergency. It just wasn't someone looking over at the water.
She then called for help before getting out of the car as Mrs. Claus. CBS 6 has chosen to just use images instead of video, out of respect for the woman in crisis.
I told dispatch that I needed some units there and uniform because I was still dressed in costume.
That's when Sergeant Lynch with the police department got there.
It gives you a nerve-wracking feeling because it's something that you don't want to see someone else going through crisis. You want to help them.
Sergeant Lynch and I we worked off each other. I would move a little bit closer and she would move closer.
They were able to soon safely get the woman down.
As soon as we were able to get hands on her and get her away from that danger, it was one of the best feelings in the world.
It's a moment that has left a mark on these officials.
For me, knowing that we were able to help this female and give her comfort and reassuring voices, that we were there to help her and keep her safe, it's everything to, help somebody.
It also served as a reminder that while there's lots of hope around the holidays, there can also be a lot of hurt.
It's important to bring awareness that, especially around the holidays, there are people that are suffering, they're missing others, or they're having a hard time. And the holidays bring that out in people.
So this Christmas, Mrs. Claus is now using it to remind others what a gift life is, and how sometimes the best gift you can give others is letting them know you care.
Be a kind human to everybody and anybody, regardless if you know them or not.
Call it fate, right place, right time, wrong attire. But there is a reason that I went that route.
Oh, shit. Why can I not?
Oh,
I can't
That's a new
re-minimize
Calvin Klein
this.
commercial?
There we go. Yeah, it might be. But I mean, how awesome is that, right?
That's
So
pretty great.
because several things could have happened there, right? She
Yeah.
could have not been paying attention and passed right by this girl who may have ended up jumping off that bridge. And then what?
The holidays
You
is
know?
the worst time for people that go through crisis like
Well,
that too.
luckily for her, she wasn't in Philadelphia, because anybody that sees anybody going over the bridge down in Philly, it goes over top of the Delaware River, they don't stop you. They let you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, they scrape that river quite often, and they find people quite often.
Yeah, I am too, Stacey. I'm glad she happened to be passing by and she had the wherewithal to stop. But at least she was smart enough, to know, hey, I'm dressed in a costume. She probably didn't have her service weapon or anything like that. If things went sideways, because you never know if somebody's armed, if they, if they're like, oh yeah, hey, I can do suicide by cop real quick, because that's a huge thing now too. So she did right by getting some help, but having the care to stop and try to help this lady, this or this girl, I don't think it says how old the woman. Oh, she was 25 years old. The woman that was about to jump, was 25, and she's getting some mental health assistance. So, thankfully, these two female officers stepped in and helped out with that. I know a lot of departments now are trying to get more mental health training, and the Madison County Sheriff's Department, Huntsville Police Department, they're teaming up with some organization here. I can't remember the name of it. I apologize for not being able to call the name of it, but they actually, for Huntsville Police Department, they have at least one person that's riding along with an officer on every shift in every in every precinct area. That is a mental health professional. They're not a law enforcement officer. They are a mental health professional riding with this officer. So if there's a mental issue call, then they're able to go to it.
Yeah.
And then I know the Madison County Sheriff's Department just had some folks graduate from a specialized training dealing with a lot of mental health stuff.
Yeah.
So,
We
hey,
had some
guard dog,
Tuscaloosa
what's up, buddy?
down there.
Yeah, it's important to have that now. I mean, mental health is a major thing.
Well, they were training their officers down there to like be able to identify and respond to mental health, not just have somebody with them, but also kind of start the process with the law enforcement because they're usually first on scene.
And I think they're starting to do a lot of that here too. I know the Madison County Sheriff's Department has some specialized training they're going to. I think Huntsville Police Department does, but I know the Sheriff's Department does. So we kind of talked. We kind of grazed over it a little bit on the last thing where a deputy at the Limestone County Courthouse threatened to arrest me for saying he was an asshole, and he said he was going to charge me with the disorderly conduct. Where is? I'm almost positive I had. We looked at the disorderly conduct statute. I thought I had it pulled back up again. It's in one of these court cases. Let me see if I can find it. Because I want to show y'all that again. I might have to look it up again. Alabama disorderly. Pull that up. Let me share my screen here real quick and we'll look at this statute. It is 13A-11-7. Let's put that on the screen. So 13A-11-7, disorderly conduct. A person commits a crime of disorderly conduct if, with the intent to cause public inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm, or recklessly creating a risk thereof, he or she does the following: engages in fighting or violent, tumultuous, or threatening behavior. Now, technically, if you threaten somebody, that can be harassment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also has in here, if you make unreasonable noise. I mean, what's unreasonable noise?
Maybe an air horn?
Screaming.
Yeah, but I mean, that's so
screaming. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. And here's the one that officer or that deputy was threatening me with. In a public place, uses abusive or obscene language or makes an obscene gesture, right? When I told him that I wear my body cam because I sometimes come into contact with assholes like you.
But see, it has to be like I thought it had to be, I was always explaining it has to be within the ear of the public. So I can sit here and quietly tell you you're a fucking asshole all day long, as long as I don't raise my voice where everybody else can hear it.
Well, so even if, right, so let's pull up some cases here. Let me see. First off, let's do this. Here's section 4 of the Alabama Constitution. Freedom of speech and press. This is the Alabama State Constitution. It says that no law shall ever be passed to curtail or restrain the liberty of speech or of the press, and any person may speak, write, and publish his sentiments on all subjects, being responsible for the abuse of that liberty. So you can't, this disorderly conduct statute not only is too vague and violates the U.S. Constitution, but it also violates the Alabama state constitution, because it says you can't pass a law that will curtail or restrain the liberty of speech. So what that tells me is I have the legal right to go out there and say anything and everything I want to say, as long as it doesn't become a crime where you're threatening somebody. Once you threaten somebody, that's not freedom of speech. That has never been protected. That is a crime like harassment, or in some states, simple assault or something like that. Mm-hmm. Hey, there's Ace Pilot 2K7. Everybody, what's up?
Hey, Ace.
Tyler Rocks is here. What's up? Budda has started a new job and may not make it on some of the shows for a little bit. Until he gets some things worked out. So this is why I have a big problem with the statute that deals with the disorderly conduct. I have got to find the actual court case I was looking at here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is one that I like. So this is Marlon A. Smith versus the city of Anniston. This is this came from the Supreme Court of Alabama.
95.
Yeah, this is from 1995. I believe Marlon is a Mr. I'm going to call him Mr. Smith. So Mr. Smith was convicted of disorderly conduct. And it was a subsection we saw of cursing in public. He was sentenced to 90 days in the city jail.
Wow.
Damn, man.
And so he argues that the state didn't provide enough evidence to support the conviction for disorderly conduct. He argues that his allegedly obscene or abusive language did not rise to the level of fighting words, and that they would have had a likelihood of causing a violent response by the police officer to whom they were addressed. And it says to see Robinson versus State, right? So I have Robinson versus State pulled up.
Let's see.
All right, so Robinson versus State, I'm gonna have to zoom this in a little bit. But this was this was published March the 19th of 1993. Now this Swan versus City of Huntsville, this is from 1984, I believe. But if you go down here and we look at this one, this guy was convicted of unlawful possession of cocaine and sentenced to 10 years imprisonment as a habitual offender. He's attacking the initial stop and arrest because
they didn't find the cocaine until after the search.
After he was arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yeah. So you try to get the first one thrown out.
Right.
So the second one comes fruit of the poisonous tree.
That all the rest is fruit of the poisonous tree, right? So this was on November 2nd, 1989, right? Officer Lewis was passing through an intersection of Duncan Drive and Good Street. He saw the appellant, and at that time, the Officer Lewis heard the appellant yell, "Fuck R. Lewis." And so he arrested him for harassment. And he was taken to the city jail, searched, and they found cocaine on his pocket, in his pocket, right? Yeah. So he's arguing that because saying, fuck the police, whatever the guy, fuck this officer, wasn't an arrestable offense. And let's see. So the court says, where's it at?
Fighting words, though.
Okay, here it is right here. So it says that with reference to the disorderly conduct statute, the words abusive or obscene language and obscene gesture have been interpreted narrowly to apply only to fighting words. That was in Swan versus the city of Huntsville, Mosley versus city of Auburn, and also Mason versus city of Vestavia Hills. Fighting words are those words which have a likelihood of causing a violent response by the person to whom they are addressed. They are words that by their very utterance provoke a swift physical retaliation and incite an immediate breach of the peace. That's Skelton versus city of Birmingham. The words used by the alleged offender must be calculated to cause an immediate breach of the peace. It's not enough to merely arouse anger or resentment, right? Hey, what's up, Jamie? Good to see you there, buddy. Hope y'all stream goes good over there, my man. So he wasn't trying to provoke a fight. You have to be trying to provoke a fight in order to fall under this disorderly conduct statute. Strictly saying fuck you in front of 400 people doesn't do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many public are around. And then it goes further. unfortunately, epithets directed at a police officer in the performance of his duties are not uncommon in today's law enforcement environment. Now, this is not even now. This is like 15, 20 years ago.
What did we say this one was? Was this one the 80s?
89.
Yeah.
89. Okay. Rodney King was like 92.
Yeah. Right. So the fact that
figure out the people screaming "fuck the police" back in the 80s, like what was going on then?
Mr. Rizzer said he would have already gotten a life sentence if he was here. Yeah, he uses the C word really often. I'm not sure if I can get away with saying that on YouTube or not. I'm not Australian enough to get by with that, but anyway, it says the fact that an officer encounters such vulgarities with some frequency and the fact that his training enables him to diffuse a potentially volatile situation without physical retaliation means that words which might provoke a violent response from an average person do not, when addressed to a police officer, amount to fighting words. So you can basically cuss out a cop all you want to.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
You're a public servant, just stand there and listen.
Yeah.
It's
and
fine.
so any evidence seized as a result of an unlawful arrest is inadmissible. So this was a unanimous reversal of the original conviction because it was the found cocaine search was fruit of the poisonous tree because the initial arrest was invalid.
Right, so his case got dropped.
Yeah, because dude was looking at 10 years for the possession.
He was fighting like hell to stay out of prison.
And I can't say I blame him there. So they referenced Swan versus the city of Huntsville. And since we're in Huntsville, Alabama, or I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, right? Let's look at this case. So the defendant was arrested for disorderly conduct and found guilty because he said, "This is some shit. Damn you. You're just doing this because I'm black. You're bringing us back 100 years. Did not contain a threat and were not likely to cause a violent response by the police officer to whom they were addressed, especially in view of probable training the officer received for dealing with similar situations." So this is from 1984, right? And this was in Huntsville. So what happened was they considered him driving under the influence and charged him with disorderly conduct. So he got pulled over because he had hit a car. They blocked him in. The officer came, and he claims he didn't drink until after his vehicle. He had some kind of engine issue that was causing the vehicle to swerve, and so he said that's why. And then he didn't drink until after he had come to a stop. I don't know. That sounds like a bullshit thing to me, but it's like, what officer's going to believe? Oh, you didn't drink any before you had this accident. You waited till after the accident to drink.
No,
I got you.
Did y'all hear that guy that explained he did not drink and drive? He drank at every stop sign. He did not drink and drive.
Yeah, I drank, then I drove. I drove, and then I drank.
Drinking and driving.
Yeah. All right, so this was in Huntsville Municipal Court, and it says evidence for the city showed that on the afternoon of May the 1st, 1982, he was driving a pickup truck in Huntsville. He was observed weaving in and out of traffic and veering off the road. Mr. Richard Lindsay testified that he saw Swan's truck strike a Volkswagen stopped in a turn lane. Miss Alice Terry, the driver of the Volkswagen, testified that after the collision, she and Swan got out of their vehicles and were exchanging information. And then Swan stated, "Since there's no injuries, I'm going to go on. I've already given my driver's license, my name, and my address." Now, if I'm correct, in the state of Alabama, do you have to get a police report? You don't have to if there's no injuries, right?
No property damage or injuries. I don't think so.
But you're required by your insurance company to report it to them.
Your insurance company may require it, but not the state.
So once he gave his information, he's not leaving the scene of an accident if he leaves because nobody was injured. He provided his info. You can go on about your business as far as I understand.
Yeah.
So both Mr. Lindsay and Miss Terry testified that once the Huntsville police officer arrived on scene and began questioning witnesses, the defendant became loud and belligerent, continually interrupting the investigating officer. So the city actually brought in these two witnesses to try to stick him on this disorderly conduct. So he told, according to Officer Green, Swan became very agitated and uncooperative. He interrupted the officer and started shouting, "This is some shit. Damn you. You're just doing this because I'm black. You're bringing us back 100 years. Green testified that he found a plastic bottle containing a strong-smelling yellowish liquid in Swan's truck, but was not sure whether or not it was alcohol. He was put on the breathalyzer and got a reading of 0.09. Now, he said, this is where he said that he had not been drinking while or before driving. He said he had a drink after the collision and before the police arrived on the scene. Yeah, he said that the veering of his truck, was because of an engine problem, that he'd called a mechanic who had ridden in the vehicle the day before to testify that the truck wasn't operating properly. He also put on the testimony of a witness who said he saw Swan take a drink at the scene after the accident. So he's arguing that he didn't drink until after the accident.
Man, that accident kicked my ass. I need some bourbon for that one.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I've been in a wreck. Let me
calm my nerves with this bottle of liquor.
Yeah. So Swan claimed that he was not belligerent or disorderly to the investigating officer, but was reacting to the officer having addressed him, a black man, as boy. Now this is in the 80s, right? When there was still, that was something that was fairly common for white people to do, was to call people of color boy as a slang. Yeah. And so I can see him getting pissed,
Though, growing up around here, it really wouldn't surprise me, especially if he was younger than the cop, because I think they called us boy. Hey, boy.
Yeah, I mean, he may not have meant it, but that's another one of those things where as an officer, you've got to be cognizant of how you're going to be perceived out there.
Right.
And to call a black man boy is just not proper. Yeah. So he says, so basically he's saying that he shouldn't be found guilty of the disorderly conduct because it didn't meet the requirement for disorderly conduct because it didn't incite fighting words. Mr. Richards says, let's look at it this way. If Sean was in a car crash and had alcohol in the back, would he get out and have a drink? The answer is yes. Probably so. Sean's from New Zealand and loves his pub crawls, that's for sure. Let's see. He filed a whole lot of stuff here, like he wasn't allowed to call some witnesses. He wasn't given a copy of the breathalyzer when he requested it, and all that kind of stuff.
It sounds like he didn't really get a fair trial.
That's like the breathalyzer back in the day. They didn't. Those machines were kind of just coming out, I think, back in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember them old ass things.
Take forever.
Ace says, yeah, that makes sense. But I know there's somewhere in here. Where does it talk? Okay, the disorderly conduct is a Class C misdemeanor.
Yeah.
All right. So the court said that although the city's evidence proved the defendant was loud, there was no testimony regarding whether the noise was unreasonable under the circumstances. So the defendant's conduct was therefore not shown to be a violation of subsection 2. And subsection 3 has been interpreted narrowly to apply only to fighting words. And it says that they talk about the Mosley case. The words found to be fighting words in Mosley were "Go ahead and hit me so I can kill your MF honky ass." So there was a threat there.
Yeah.
There was a threat of bodily harm involved in that. So that's definite fighting words. If you say, "Fuck you, I'm gonna kick your ass," the "fuck you" part's protected, but the "I'm gonna kick your ass" part is not.
Yeah.
That's different.
They
And
consider that a
if
threat.
somebody's mad enough to yell at you and cuss at you, you can get them to that point. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
get them to the point where they won't fight you and say it or tell I
Yeah,
beat your ass. Oh,
you
would
can, but that's the thing. Like, so let's look at the issue where, all right, the deputy that told me he was going to charge me if I said one more obscene word because I was in public.
Yeah.
It was 3 of us there, me, him, and another officer.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there was more people there. And I told him, I said, yeah, I called you an asshole because you're an asshole. Stop being an asshole. Let's say I called him an asshole like 12 times.
Yeah.
He can't touch it.
He would have arrested me.
Yeah,
I can
he would have.
guarantee you he would have arrested me.
Yeah, but he
We would have got to
However,
read your case file. We would have got to read your appellate case right here.
however, you can't do it.
No.
It's not, that is not disorderly conduct.
Nope.
Now, let's say I was inside the courthouse building and I was yelling, "Fuck you, cop," or, "You pig," or, whatever you can all call cops to piss them off and push their buttons, That would have gotten me for the loud part, possibly, because it would have echoed through the courthouse and people possibly on the second floor could have heard it. Now, at that point, I can see an argument for the unreasonableness of the noise level, but you can call a cop an asshole or fucktard or a dick or, a dumbass or, whatever. But if you push it to the point, like, say what you got to say and move on.
Yeah.
If you sit there and you keep trying to push buttons and get them to the point of getting pissed off, then you might be teetering on the edge of disorderly conduct because you're trying to incite. At that point, see, you're trying to incite a response. Now, if I just say, you're being a fucking asshole, I'm not trying to incite a physical response from you. But if I get closer to your car and I got the camera in your face and I'm hollering how big of a pussy you are and all this kind of stuff, then you're getting to the point where you're trying to incite a physical reaction.
Well, if somebody's mad enough at you and they're willing to kind of go down that road, the nicer you are, the more pissed off they're going to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you don't have to say anything that would be insightful, but you can stand there and be like, "Well, I'm sorry, you feel that way." And that might incite a fucking fight. I mean, it might get him to the point where he wants to tell me he's gonna kick my ass.
Oh, Stacy's mom has got it going on. Said his mom used to have one in the car. She lied to me and told me that she had to blow into it because it made it where people couldn't steal her car.
I've only seen one of those things.
You know what's gross is I get some cars come into the shop every now and then for repairs, and they've got one of them in the car. Well,
oh God!
How am I supposed to start the car? I'm not putting my mouth on that.
They were involved in an accident. Oh,
yeah.
Who would have thought?
Oh yeah, they come in and their car's smashed up or whatever. I need to put a bumper on it or whatever the case, and I can't start the car, and I'm not blowing on that thing. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
Jeez. All right, let's look at this one. I think so this one was about loud music. Damn it, I keep clicking the wrong thing. So this is in Anniston, right? This one's about loud music. So the police officer for the city of Anniston was dispatched to a private home in a residential neighborhood on a complaint of some loud music. When the officer arrived at the scene, he rolled his vehicle's window down and was approached by one of approximately 10 to 12 individuals who were standing on or around the private home. The officer testified that he did not hear any loud music and that the individual to whom he spoke was very cooperative. However, he testified that several other individuals, including the appellant, which is going to be this Marlon Smith, were close to his vehicle. He testified that the appellant leaned forward to his car window, and as the officer began to leave, he yelled in a loud voice, "Suck my dick," right? The officer testified that he then parked his car and told the appellant that he was under arrest. The appellant walked through the gate and a fence and towards the front porch of the private home. The officer testified that several other subjects then became disorderly. We had quite a scene there for a few minutes, and he testified that as he attempted to follow and apprehend the appellant, he became louder and angrier. Well, I'm on private fucking property and you can't arrest me. The officer testified that the appellant's voice was loud enough to be heard in the street by most of the people standing close to the scene, that other individuals had not been disorderly before the appellant, quote, started his little show. So following the police officer's testimony, the defense counsel made a motion for a judgment of acquittal, stating that it was not sufficient to support a conviction that the state showed that the appellant directed profanity towards a police officer, but the state should have shown that doing so was recklessly intended to cause a public inconvenience. Defense counsel further argued that nothing would have happened if the officer had just driven off. In other words, when the dude leaned over and hollered, "Suck my dick," the officer should have just drove off.
Rolled his head up in the fucking window.
Yeah, well, yeah, if he was over in there, but the actual confrontation and shit doesn't happen because of what the guy said. The confrontation happened because the cop put his car in park and got out and then went over there to stir up more shit, right? So the defense counsel cited Robinson versus State. Prosecutor responded that Robinson versus State involved a charge of harassment, which called for a higher standard of proof, and further stated that he didn't agree with the holding in Robinson. Well, it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. It's a fucking court case, Mr. Prosecutor. Whether you agree with the outcome of it or not, the appellate court said this is how it is. Mm-hmm. In LMAW versus State from 1992, the court applied Robinson versus State to a case involving charge of public disorderly conduct. In that case, a student and her parents met with the principal of the student's high school and were told by the principal that she was expelled. As she walked down the hall after leaving the principal's office, the defendant looked at the chief of police, who was about 20 feet behind her, jerked open the door and said, "I don't need this fucking school anyway," and slammed the door, violently slammed the door. The chief of police was the only person who heard the student's remark, and the court stated, a person commits the crime of disorderly conduct, and we read through that, in a public place uses abusive or obscene language. The abusive or obscene language provision of the disorderly conduct statute is very narrow and applies only to fighting words. So over and over and over again, we're seeing where this only applies to fighting words. Mm-hmm. So now's where I ask all of you watching over there, when I go back to the Limestone County Courthouse and remind him that he's an asshole and get arrested, who's going to come bail me out?
I'll be there.
I can.
I'll make the drive.
Yeah.
You got that thing. You got that thing that, what was it, the statute or whatever that basically backs up the First Amendment.
It does, and so does the state constitution.
Hell, I'd print that shit out and freaking show it to him. Like, dude, you can't do it.
I mean, I didn't intend to create a scene when I went there to begin with.
Right? No, I agree.
It's kind of like
I wouldn't show him the statute or anything, any case law on it. It's
well,
his job
I mean,
to know it.
Yeah, it's their job to know what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. The bad guy said he's got my back too.
I mean, if he does arrest you for that, I mean, maybe you got a federal lawsuit.
Well, and y'all know, all right, I'm totally, it would cost a lot of money. So I'm very honest, right? There's days that I'm kind of an asshole. I know it's a huge surprise. I know it. Adam's seen me lose my shit a couple of times. I've seen Adam lose his shit plenty of times too.
No, wait a minute. Adam, you lost your shit? No way.
Yeah, man.
I think you're gonna spit on me.
Oh yeah. Man, when we used to catch shoplifters, man, it was some wild shit. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me. You remember
video?
You remember that video? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find that. Oh my God!
You're not the law. That one?
Let's see.
Oh, I gotta say, I think I can send it to
Bridge
you.
Street shoplifter. I think I got it right here somewhere. Let me see. Oh wait, has it been taken down?
Surely not. Hold on just a second.
You have it saved on your PC?
I've got it saved in a playlist on my anyway, where's that?
Oh man, I can't find it, dude.
Oh, that one was so good too. Wait, I've got it saved as like all hell breaks loose or something. Where was it?
I'll pick you up on the way, Stacy.
Oh, I got it saved.
It's a little bit of a trip to Onyx's place.
Oh, you got it? Were you sending it in the private chat?
As soon as I can get my dang computer to cooperate. Well, there's mom and son. Forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, Stacy's gonna come drink with us. That'd be cool.
Oh, because of the language, it's whatever you call it. Where is how I share it? Give me just a second. Oh, here, share. There we go. Now, copy.
So this is us with the woman that was acting an ass in the parking lot. We waited 12 minutes for Huntsville police to get there.
Yeah, it was I'm gonna send it to you in the chat.
Okay.
And on Discord.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's get. All right. Let's see. Let me get. All right. Let's share this tab. All right. So now this was recorded by a bystander, but this is Adam and I with a shoplifter in the parking lot.
I just got here. I think she tried to steal something.
Yeah, she did.
She did quite a few things.
You're not the law. God, I looked bald back then too.
Who's this woman bending over here?
That's her friend.
With their little girl in the car or something.
There goes Bridge Street Security riding by. They were a huge fucking help right here.
They didn't do shit.
Look at these fat motherfuckers. Hold on.
Wow.
Let me go. He can't hold me down. He cannot hold me like this.
This guy's behind the back of that car. He's laughing at her.
Jerry, take my purse.
Get my purse.
Look at this guy.
Take this one.
Stacy's seen this one. Yeah, this is me and Adam and Linnea when we were asset protection at Belkett Bridge Street, man. We used to fuck up some shoplifters over there, man. And then Stacy says, God bless the tires and shocks on that golf cart.
That shit was leaning.
Oh, God.
Put some Morosos on her.
Take it. Yes, you can. It's mine. I didn't purse. Yes, you fucking can.
She was trying to give her purse away because the stolen merchandise was in the purse.
Jerry, yes, you can. Fuck it.
But we wouldn't let that other girl take it. She done come out of her shoes and everything.
Somebody needs to record this.
Did she go to jail?
Yes. Who's recording it?
Good.
Who's recording it? Who's recording it?
Who's recording it? Who's recording it?
My purse, Jerry.
She said we were fucking psycho.
Yes, he will. And they can't do shit. They're right.
And I couldn't believe her arm was twisted.
Say what?
Her arm, like the way I had her arm, I had her in an arm bar, but the way I had it was all kinds of funky, and her arm just kept twisting. Like she was real bendy.
Yeah, she was putting up a good little fight.
Yeah. She kicked you, didn't she?
Yeah, she kicked me. I ended up with my knuckles scraped up from holding
from the
her on
ground.
the. Yeah.
My purse! Take my purse! Shut up! Take my purse, please. Take my purse.
Yeah, that's right, Wiz. Yep, they're watching from a safe distance there, bud.
They took them.
They're like, fuck this, I ain't getting involved.
Take my purse. They're in my purse. Take my purse. Hello.
Oh my God, that woman.
Yeah. Shit. These motherfuckers work for Belk. They work for Belk.
They work for
Belk.
Belk.
They're not nobody.
Belk.
God damn. It's a dumb y'all. Y'all feel bad? Y'all feel bad? Y'all feel like y'all some bad motherfuckers, don't you? In my purse. Fuck that. That's how sorry.
As soon as we get her under control, we'll
Take my purse. Take my purse. Do we need to call 911?
They already did.
They
They're on
did?
the way.
Oh, okay. Are you with her?
I'm not with her, but I'm just making sure.
That she's
I got it
okay?
on video. She keeps pointing her hitting and stuff.
Oh,
Serious. Hey, serious.
I'm just making sure that she doesn't try to.
So this guy was recording because she kept hollering a bunch of shit, and he was more or less trying to get video to back us up and protect us, right? Which is badass. This dude was actually part of a fraternity at the college here.
Yeah.
Local.
Cool.
He stuck around to give us the video.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Then there's the problem. Okay. I don't escalate. Why? Y'all the ones doing it. You dumbass. What kind of dumb fuck are you? Look at that. Look at that. For what? For what?
This is one of them Walker
No,
County folks.
tell you what,
Seven,
police that are
stumbling into
not.
Huntsville.
Yeah, and so here, if you fight a store employee while you're shoplifting, you can actually be charged with felony robbery.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to stand there and take it either. If somebody attacks you, I'm sure you have a right to defend yourself, right?
Not under company policy. We weren't supposed to strike them. We're limited to holding force only. We can hold them, we can grab them, we can, get handcuffs on them, that kind of stuff. But we're not supposed to punch anybody.
Yeah.
Slap.
Remember, she had that chocolate chip cookie all around her mouth.
Oh yeah, she had been eating some cookies from the American Cookie Company, whatever, and
Yeah,
she had chocolate chip cookies all up in her mouth and all in her teeth and everything.
Oh my God.
Man, it was
Like, it was good.
And you can take it.
So anyway, so this goes on for quite a while, right? And we get her up and we get her handcuffed.
You don't know.
Hold on, I want to see how we finally got her big ass.
I forgot what she pissed Lene off. She said something to Lene about smacking her. She said,
I think I just sat her up.
Well, then sit up. Yeah. You'll sit up and let us cuff you.
I'm not going over.
Yeah, so we got her. Oh, there's a little bit of crack right there. Say no to crack, boys and girls. A little bit of ass crack with the tramp stamp.
The tramp stamp.
I will. Get my purse. Look at what you're fucking dog. Fuck y'all. I'm not. Come on. Oh my God. Oh. Bad.
There's HPD shows up
He was so
after it's all
nonchalant,
said
too.
and done.
He's like, where'd they send me to a call to? I don't know, the bitch in the parking lot screaming. That might be where you want to go.
Yeah, so when Adam and I were asset protection, God damn it, I keep doing the wrong thing. When we were asset protection at Belk, it was not the place to come steal. I'm telling you, we did not put up with no bullshit. So,
and you don't do that
especially
no
since we were. Well, see, Belk was hands on then. We used to have some good times.
Stacy says, "Fucking track Mark Tracy trying to steal from fucking Belk."
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
saw her teeth, though, ooh.
Oh
You'd have
yeah,
really thought that.
man, with all them cookies up in it and shit, that was some nasty
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Stuck
Oh
all
my
in
god,
that
that was
mouth.
some nasty shit.
She had a good case in that mouth.
But anyway, so I mean, we had all kind of shit. Sometimes we had to deal with, right? Oh, look, Wiz says I look older on the video than I do now. Well, thank you, Wiz. I guess I'm like a fine wine and cheese. I
Better
just
with
get better
age.
with age, right? What's up, Dustin K? Good to see you. So we touched on the disorderly conduct stuff. I mean, and we see where it's always being referred to by the appellate courts as it's got to be fighting words. So if you just read the letter of the law, it needs to be amended. Like the law needs more meat to it. It needs to be broken down a little bit better because the law itself is very vague. And that's where, like, Deputy Dickwad in Limestone County was mistaken in thinking that he could charge me with disorderly conduct. And there's people that get arrested for that shit all the time in Alabama that don't know any better, and they just go in and plead guilty because they figure you can't beat it.
Misdemeanor here, $250.
Yeah, but you know, somebody like me, I'm not going to take a charge. I like the fact that my criminal record is clean, and I want it to stay that way. If somebody's going to hem me up with the charge, you got to know what the fuck you're doing, because I will go broke and refinance my house and shit to fight that.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes
for real.
it's the principle of the thing too.
Yeah, it is. So y'all got any thoughts on anything we looked at tonight?
Well, the two cat ladies, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. Those guys need to go back through training or something. That doesn't sit well with me at all. I mean, the way he handled that 85-year-old woman. I mean, would you really do that with your own grandmother? I mean,
I just wonder if there's any like, was there a follow-up in the news or something? Maybe somewhere they stated the title codes in which they charged them under? You can't just
They charged them with trespassing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. They were arrested for trespassing, and I think they got that one lady, the older lady. I think they also charged her with resisting without violence or whatever it's called, because she pulled away from them and shit like that. Or what is it?
It was the
Obstruction of
keys.
governmental operations
She
or
took
something.
the keys and she slapped the keys into the cop's hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm all for public order, you know, and I'm all for we got to have laws, because as human beings, we're all capable of being shit bags. And you know, not everybody has that filter to keep them on the right side of things. So I'm all for laws and things, but there comes a time where, like you said, Adam, if I'd have been one of those officers pulling up there and saw that, I'd been like, all right, ma'am, you're not supposed to be out here doing this. You're gonna make me look bad. Can you just load it on up and head down the road, please?
I'm still stuck on them being charged with even criminal trespassing, because I just don't see how a police officer, an enforcement arm of criminal justice, is going to go around and tell people they can't be on certain properties and then arrest them if they are.
And there's a possibility.
That goes back to the craziness of it.
And there's a possibility that they had maybe gotten some kind of trespass notice or something from somebody in the city. Maybe it wasn't just a police officer. I mean, I'm going to err on the side of they did it right by giving them some kind of warning. But the news stuff that I had seen said that this 84-year-old woman, she was trespassed from somewhere downtown, not this location. Yeah. Well, you can't. That's like saying you got banned from Walmart, so because you got busted over at Target, we're gonna charge your ass with trespassing. It don't work that way.
No. And then, like, you're supposed to put us, like, for us, we had to put an address a specific address to a trespass. You know, so you couldn't say you're at 1 County Road Oak Tree or whatever, and then they're down here at 3 County Road Oak Tree, and I'm gonna arrest you for that. Like that can't.
I don't even know how it would even stick. If it goes in front of a judge, I'm sure he would throw it out, right?
Well, and can you say you've been trespassed from all city property?
No.
Well, and my understanding though is that we have a freedom in this country to walk around and to go where we want and, you know, do what we want as long as we're not breaking any laws. But so when you go onto public property, you've paid taxes. So that's partially yours. You've paid for that in a way. So I don't think you
back to the whole thing of that's why I just can't wrap my mind around it, like how they are able to trespass.
I just don't think you can be trespassed from public property if you didn't commit a crime.
Right.
You know, I mean, and that's why, I mean, not being able to find an ordinance, there may be one, I just couldn't find one, but with no ordinance against feeding cats or trapping cats in Wetumpka, then, I mean, what the fuck are you, what crime did they commit to be charged with trespassing to begin with?
Right.
Or to be trespassed to begin with. So if you're
that's probably why they only got charged with trespassing, because there is no statute for feeding a damn cat.
Well, right,
so
but then
what they thought they could was just to make it just to trespass.
But
they could even throw the hopes at stick.
Isn't this another one of those fruit of the poisonous tree kind of things, though? How do you have a valid arrest for trespass when the initial trespass wasn't valid?
Right.
I mean, and then if the whole trespass arrest wasn't valid, then the not complying with law enforcement charge, what is it? Interference with governmental operations, isn't that what they call it in Alabama? The resisting arrest.
It would have been obstructing a governmental operation.
Yeah. So I mean, then that's not valid if the original arrest isn't valid.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of dumb. Stacy says, if you go that far for your civil rights, how far are you willing to go when Jack's fucks up your food? Dude, I have showed my ass at Jack's a couple of times.
What is Jack's?
It's a restaurant chain here. I don't know how regional it is. I've only seen it in Alabama. Yeah, it's pretty good. So you can get fried chicken, like, you know, breast, wings, legs, thighs, you know, all that. You can get fried chicken. You can get chicken strips. You can get burgers, chicken sandwiches. They've got breakfast. They have an amazing fucking biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Their biscuits and gravy is amazing.
I love biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. But I've showed my ass at Jack's a couple of times around here. You can go ask the one down there at the corner of 53 and Jeff Road. If I've ever shown my ass in there. It's happened a couple of times, but I still go back because I love the food and it's close to the house. And I mean, people fuck up, and I'm just going to tell you when you fuck up. I mean, that's all it is. Let's see. Keep talking about biscuits and gravy, putting him at half mast. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty good. Oh wait, I missed Wiz's comment here. Is there anything you would ever let slide in larceny hunters of Alabama? You mean when we were catching shoplifters, would we ever cut anybody loose? Fuck no.
Hell no.
Hell no. We prosecuted 100% because it was one rule for everybody.
Well, I mean,
it didn't matter.
If you do the crime, do the time, man.
Hey, Jamie H, what's up? So if you were older than 10 and younger than, what was it, 75?
It depended. Remember, like there was even exclude. It was, I think, 75
was the norm.
It wasn't a felony.
Yeah.
Right.
So anybody between 10 and 75, if you shoplifted in our store, your ass went to jail.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, buts. It didn't matter if it was one shirt, if it was 100 shirts, if it was one shoe out of a pair. Yep. It didn't fucking matter. If you stole from our store, your ass went to jail. And that was
somebody
it.
for a chocolate bar.
Yeah,
True story.
we did. We got somebody for a chocolate bar. I got somebody for one pair of earrings one time.
Yep.
That
Oh,
was on clearance for like $2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that family we've been trying to catch for a while. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take a small charge over nothing.
All day.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a blast doing that, man. I miss it. I miss catching shoplifters and shit. But you know, nowadays you can't touch them anywhere. Walmart don't let them touch shoplifters anymore. Target don't touch them. You know, fucking Burlington Coat Factory over there, they walk around with the fucking reflective vest on that says loss prevention on the back of it. You know, I mean, we were old school loss prevention where we would literally, and y'all saw it, y'all saw video proof of it. We would drag your ass back in that store and get our shit back.
Did many a time.
Yeah.
Shame you're not doing that still. Imagine the footage we could get today.
I know.
That's why I say if you ever want to see me about losing my mind, I like you're gonna spit on me, because there was a kid one time that just he leaned back like he was about to hawk one in my face, and I had spun around real quick. And Dave was like, slid him out.
I knew he was about to get his ass kicked, so I moved him real quick. So Will says, I bet now that you're gone, shoplifters are through the roof. Shoplifters are through the roof everywhere in this country right now because retail corporations have become pussified, right? And they're too worried about getting sued instead of keeping their merchandise in the building. And then there's been news articles here recently about boo-hoo-hoo, how many billions of dollars Walmart's been losing to theft because of they blamed it on self-checkouts. Well, that's part of the problem. You also don't let your loss prevention grab somebody's ass and drag them back in the store when they steal shit. You're like, stop, don't steal my shit. That's not how. Yeah, that's not how you stop shoplifting.
Number right here in front of them.
Yeah. See, that's why I quit.
Yeah.
That's why I quit, because I knew I couldn't do it. I'd end up getting fired. So that's why I serve legal papers full time now.
Fair enough.
So any other input on what we watched besides Wetumpka cops are fucking assholes?
That's the only thing that really stood out in my mind tonight, man. Those guys are dicks.
Yeah.
Straight up. There ain't no two ways about that, man.
That was just uncalled for.
No,
I mean,
that was the highlight of the show right there. I mean,
feeding cats.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty bad. So now we know too about the disorderly conduct and how the court cases have gone. And so next time, you know, I go into asshole mode and cuss at somebody. As long as it's not fighting words, it's not disorderly conduct. You know, and I do want to apologize. I was on a scene a while back I didn't post a video of it because it was juveniles that they ended up catching, and it was too much shit to try to blur out and everything. But I did call 2 Huntsville police officers dicks. And so I want to apologize for that, because although you were dicks, you know, I probably shouldn't have said anything, but anyway, you know, that's how it is. I just asked a simple question and they acted like they couldn't even acknowledge me as a human being. So, you know, that was kind of shitty, and not wanting to tell me who you are and all that stuff. You know, that's when it's shitty. So I just told them, I said, you guys are a couple of fucking dicks. But hey, they didn't arrest me or try to arrest me for disorderly conduct because they knew.
Well, okay, so the guy in Limestone County, you should send him an edible bouquet. Throwing that out there. I don't know if Dunkin' Donuts has
an edible bouquet,
but it can change things.
You know, there's a website that you can go to where you can actually order a bag of dicks for somebody.
Yeah,
send it to them. As a snack.
I actually have thought of that, but now you have to be real careful in the state of Alabama on getting close to that harassment level.
Yeah, but that's a joke at that point. I mean, come on.
That's
good. That's good.
Yeah. Edible arrangements. That's what we need. The double Dunkin' bouquet. That's what I need to send him over there.
Sorry, your blood sugar was low and you were hangry.
Jamie wants to know what your address is, Steve.
I don't have an address.
So he can send you your bag of dicks.
I don't have an address.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna probably wrap this on up because my wife is cooking breakfast food for dinner tonight. I can smell it down there, bacon and eggs. Yes, you know how you smell bacon in the house, man.
I know, man. I know.
Lord. So I'm gonna wrap this on up. Any other closing remarks? Oh, I guess I should probably tell y'all, those of you that are still here watching. So next Sunday, the 25th, is Christmas Day. There will not be a show on Christmas Day. We're not going to be doing a show on Christmas Day. And there is the possibility, keep an eye on in the Discord and on, I'll announce ahead of time when we're getting ready to do the next show, but I think we might do one on the 1st if we didn't all go out partying or something. Because January the 1st is also on a Sunday. So definitely not one for Christmas, possibly one for the 1st. But either way, we'll probably see you in 2 or 3 weeks. Enjoy the time with your family out there this holiday season. And, if the holidays are a sad time for you, reach out to somebody to talk to. Don't be like the young lady we saw, about to jump off the bridge. Don't get to that point. Reach out there for somebody, call one of the hotlines. Is it 998 now on your phone that gets you to the suicide prevention hotline now? I think that's it. They've shortened it down. But I think that's going to do it for this show. This is episode 4, and this has been a hell of a fun time. I love doing this show. We did have some submissions. Eson did submit some videos. We're going to get to those on the next show. They didn't really fit in. It's 988. 988 is what Jamie says. They didn't really fit in with what this show was trying to talk about, which was more of some of the case law and stuff I wanted to look at. But we will get to them. There's some police chase videos and stuff like that that he submitted that we want to check out. I'm just glad you are all here and hanging out and watching the show with us. And thank you, Steve and Adam, for hopping on and being part of it. It's a lot of fun, man. And I'm kind of thinking, since it does seem to be something that folks are enjoying, I may actually go ahead and upgrade the StreamYard thing, and we may get a few bells and whistles to have a few more little things, so I can put smiley faces on Steve if I want to, and all that kind of stuff. Who knows? Now, guys, remember, when I go to end this, our mics are going to be muted. Once I end it and everything, though, Steve, I need to get with you on something before we all hop off for the night. But I need to keep it to like 5 minutes or less because I'm starving and I can smell that bacon.
Okay, you heard it, Wizzy. So give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, bacon. You want to be on here? I could let you be on here, Stacy, if you won't get in trouble for it. Shoot me a message, a DM on Discord, and we'll
be good to have him on here, man.
We'll talk it out.
He's got some probably really good feedback since he's in the military.
Yep.
So,
all right, y'all. Well, I do appreciate. Oh, and I guess if speaking of Stacey getting on, if any of you want to come on the show, let us know. We can talk it out and see if we can get you on here. I wouldn't mind some opposing views, even. If you don't always agree with the things we say and you want to get in here and kind of have an alternate viewpoint, I'm all for that too. So that's going to do it for us, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya. God bless.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here on screen. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. You can count on me to to see if I succeed.